3, 2, 1, fire!
What's good, everybody? This is EQ from La Familia Music Group, and we bring to you the What's Dope in the Slow podcast. And on this episode, I bring two special guests. These guys are running the market out here. I got my boy Fransisco and my boy Andrew Reed from Keller Williams that sponsored this podcast, so I appreciate you for doing that, man. The Ink team out here in Western Colorado hit up Andrew Reed for your realty needs, you know. So how you guys been, Fransisco, Andrew? How you guys been?
Oh, man, good. Keeping busy.
That's right.
Keeping busy for what it is right now. It's always in the winter. It always slows down a little bit, but
yeah,
it's good, man. It's I'd like to say it as slow busy.
That's right.
There's still a lot going on, but yeah, can't complain.
No, I agree. I think there's always that little bit of slowdown between the holidays. You know, a lot of agents kind of take time off and recalibrate. A lot of clients kind of slow down a little bit because they're more focused on the holidays and things like that. But there's still a lot of activity and a lot of interest. Like, there's always a lot of people talking about the market and what's going on with the market.
That's awesome, man. So, I mean, just like any job, you know, I think there's ups and downs, you know. So that's dope, you know. What do you guys got planned for the holidays, man? We're getting near the holidays. What do you guys got planned?
Man, I will say mine kind of shifted. I was planning on leaving town, but I think I'm just going to stick around, you know, spend some time with the family.
Enjoy a white Christmas for once.
Yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to do that over the last, I think, 3 to 4 years I've been out, which has been great.
Right. But
this year I'm going to stick around.
Okay.
Hopefully we do have a nice white Christmas, but
I like it.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about that. It's as long as you know, we can get it. We can spend it with our loved ones, and that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, man, that's an important thing, I think. What about you, Andrew? What you got going on, man?
I wish I was hibernating with this cold, this cold weather, but
straight up, man.
No, I'm just gonna hang out with the family. Same, I have the boys, so you know, plenty of presents for them. I think the best thing is just giving the gifts and seeing them happy and everything like that, and then. I'm a foodie, so eating, man. I can't wait for those feasts, man. I smell ham, turkey, mashed potatoes, tamales, enchiladas. I'm ready for it all, man.
That's right, man. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's one of my favorite things about all the holidays, man. Yeah. Is all the food, man. I love food.
What you got planned?
I got planned. I'm just going to stick around, man, do the whole family thing. You know, nice, I think just really enjoy and appreciate that time with our families because, you know, we're all busy too, you know. So it's like this is really the one time we can just kind of, you know, just wind down and just decompress and be together.
Yeah.
You know? So definitely that, you know, definitely the family and food thing, you know?
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad you guys are here, man. I thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us today and talk a little bit about the housing market, just the steps of what it'll take to get into a house and or, you know, just a little bit of just like the basic info and just, you know, Kiki, Fransisco, a.k.a. Kiki. Fransisco is a lender, right? So we can talk a little bit about what it takes to get a loan. And then we got, you know, Andrew Reed with the Ink team. So, you know, you got the best
dynamic
team.
duo, man.
Dynamic duo. Is that what it is? That's right.
That's been the hashtag, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, first of all, man, thank you. Thanks for bringing us together to make this happen. We've been talking about this for quite some time.
Long overdue, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we just never got to it. Your busy schedule, our busy schedule. But I think finally putting it together, finally being able to come to the table and just have a simple conversation. Hopefully this is good for everybody out there. Hopefully someone gets something good out of this because – ultimately, I think what we run into, and we've talked about this a number of times, what we run into a lot is, you know, people are afraid to take that first step because they don't know how to do it or what will be required or just, you know, I guess just the process, you know, from start to finish. So I think this itself, being able to have this conversation will hopefully, you know, give a lot of people the information that they need to be able to take that first step. And, you know, I've had a lot of people that I've helped in the past that have told me, I was like, man, like if I would have known it would have been this easy.
Right?
Yeah.
And not saying that it's a walk in the park either. You know,
Right.
I think everybody has to do their part, but understanding it and knowing the process makes it so much better. You know, but that's my opinion at least.
No, I agree, and I think if I could say something, I think a lot of people are just afraid of rejection and the
Right.
word no. Like a lot of people build in their head that
Okay.
it's a no before they even ask.
Yeah.
And it's coaching them through that and saying, hey, you got to, even if it is a no, just figuring out what you have to do to be in a better situation. And that's one thing I always say is like, even if you are approved, but it's not for the amount you want or the home you need, just work on it and then kind of go from there.
Right.
But
exactly.
I mean, it's important to go with a great lender, though. I mean, Fransisco and Academy, they're, in my opinion, probably the best lenders in town.
That's right.
They do great work. They're always consistent. Yeah. And it's great because we both started about the same time, and we built, I think we both just focus on doing good service.
Yep.
At the end of the day, we know that if we take care of the community will take care of us.
Yeah. And that's what it is, man. Being able to have a good relationship, because ultimately, the borrower, the person, the client that is coming to us, for us, it's more than just a transaction, right?
Yeah,
it's
right.
like, okay, how can we get there? If they're not there yet, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
And it's about a matter of communication, and that's what I think has helped us tremendously. And I think a lot of people that have seen that through social media.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been
right.
huge for us. That's been huge for us. We get so much feedback from that, saying like, hey, like
So much love,
yeah, like we
Appreciate
saw
all the
you
love.
guys. We've seen you guys for the past how many years?
4 years now.
4 years now.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, like we I saw my cousin got a house from you, and it's like, man, like I figured, why not me, and it's been good to see, to be able to help out, to do our part. And some of them have not been easy. Some of them have, like, of course,
Yeah.
I think like most of us, and I'll include myself, is like, whenever you want something, you want it that moment, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to say, okay, maybe you can't have it that moment, but we'll help you get there 6 months down the road, and it's worth the wait, right? But I think that is the biggest thing, is being able to stick with it and just know that the result will get there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
man. And I think that's what makes you guys like a perfect duo too. You
Yeah.
know, like you guys know how to communicate with each other. You're in it for the right reasons, and
Yeah.
you're really about community more than just the transaction, like you mentioned. And I think that's what's so special about you guys, really. And it's like you guys make it that much easier to
Yeah.
get into a house for the people that are scared to take those first steps, or scared to throw all their money at this, that
Yeah.
they might not know that it's a good investment, but
That's a great one, yeah. And I think that's what separates us from the pack, is that
Right.
we don't see it as a transaction. We understand that these families and friends and things like that, they're putting so much trust in us. This is like one of the biggest decisions they can make. In my opinion, this is what separates generational wealth from being rich.
That's right.
Like, you can have a lot of nice things and be rich, but if you want to be like wealthy, these are the kind of investments you have to make. So I feel so blessed that they trust us to be the guides on that relationship. And I always tell them, like, hey, you're the boss. I'm here to work for you. We're here to make sure that we can do everything in our power to make this easier for you. And I think just our level of service just goes above and beyond, where we always include them. We make sure we do what's best for our clients. We never think about our own needs or desires. It's always, they're at the forefront, because I think we've been on the other side of it. Like, I bought in a couple homes, and I don't feel like I had, the best agents and things like that.
The
So for me,
support,
I didn't want that. I wanted people to go out, and like I said, when they see our picture, I think people want to do that. They can imagine their family there. They can see them at the closing table. They can see themselves at the new house. And for me, that's one of the best feelings, because it gives them hope. If all the doubt out there, that gives them that gleam of hope that they can make it, they can do it too.
That's right, man.
I just wish some of the people that said they were going to invite us to the cookout would follow through. They just follow through. Like, we're hungry. We're hungry.
Watching. Man, all 25 of you.
Call them out, dude. Call them out, dude. Right now. Come on.
We're still waiting.
All
Yeah,
the
still
work.
waiting.
The ones that did, we appreciate you. The food was delicious.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
tequila is always fire. So
That's
we
right.
yeah.
The 1 or 2 that did,
Yeah.
23 of you, we're still waiting.
Yeah.
That's right. All the time. All the hard work, man.
Yeah, we helped you get those beautiful homes, man. Invite us over.
Yeah.
We're nice. We're
Yeah.
clean. We promise.
Yeah, we'll be respectful. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You guys make a great team, man. You
Thank you, bro.
see it, the dynamic duo, and it's just perfect, man. So for those people that are listening or tuning in, watching, what is some advice or the first couple steps that they would need to take to get into a house?
Call Kiki. Easiest thing I say.
Kiki.
Call Kiki.
Call Kiki.
Find out the finances. A lot of people put the cart in front of the horse, and they're looking at homes, before they figure out the finances. I can tell you that's the worst way to do it, because you're either going to get champagne taste with the beer budget.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have your expectations too low and not realize what you can actually afford. And so you might be approved for a lot, but go with what you're comfortable paying. But I think for me, the first thing I always tell people is, find people that you like, but you got to get pre-approved. And I think Kiki can take over from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the pre-approval process, I won't necessarily go into much details about it, but it's pretty simple. It's a matter of being able to complete an application, being able to provide some of the income documentation, maybe some of your assets as well, just to see if we can verify that up front. It makes the whole transaction once you find the home and once you get pre-approved, so much smoother. But yeah, the biggest thing here, man, is being able to get you pre-approved. I think the biggest mistake that most of us, most of the community does is they start looking, right?
Yeah. Right.
And exactly what Andrew just mentioned is you fall in love with a place, but maybe I can get you approved for that. Maybe we can get you pre-approved for that, but you fall in love with a place, but you don't fall in love with the payment, right? So then at that point, it's like, okay,
That's right.
then you have to look at, okay, that was your plan A. Now plan B is more like the payment that you were looking for, but then again, you're comparing it to that first home, and you're like, okay, that's not necessarily what I was looking for. I like that brand new house that I looked at eventually from the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, is being able to get you approved, and that's pre-approved, I should say, and that's the biggest thing as well, because if you're not there, then that's where the conversation begins. Is like, how do we get there? How do we get you there? Because as hard as it is to get a no at that time, it could be a no for like, hey, I can't even tell you how many people I've helped that I've told them, you know what, it's a no right now, but let's take care of these two little items that are affecting you right now. Right. And that no can turn into a yes in 2 weeks and 2 months and 2 days, and
their motivation,
it's
circumstances.
And that's the biggest thing. I will say this, and I think I touched base on it a little bit earlier, but one of the biggest advice that I can give someone that's going through that process is like, ultimately the result that you want, that yes, is you're gonna have a lot to say in that,
For sure.
It's how soon do you want to address what needs to be fixed? Right. How soon do you want to work on that? And then ultimately, that will give us an answer as how soon we can get you pre-approved. So, a lot of people look at us and say, well, hey, you're the guys that are working on it. I'm the one that's working on the pre-approval. He's the one that's looking for a home. But at the end of the day, I think it's a team effort to be able to get you to where you want to be.
No, that's for sure, and I think that's very important.
Yeah, I like to say, we're the coaches. They're the star of the show. We're just here to help. We can't make the shot for you. We can't make the decisions for you. All we can do is line you up to make that shot. And I think a lot of it is self-responsibility. Like, a lot of people don't like looking at their finances and saying, hey, maybe I shouldn't get this new car so I can afford the payment. I think some of it's just personal responsibility and really finding out what you want. Like, I understand if you want that awesome Cutlass in the driveway, but you have to understand, with that payment, you may not be able to afford that new home. And also, just to touch on, your first home isn't your forever home. I think a lot of the people we talk to, they get in the mind that the first home they're going to get is the home that they're going to be with forever. And it's one of those, it's building blocks. I think all of us, that have been in the homeowning game, that we started out with a home that we didn't like even sometimes. I remember my first was 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, needed a lot of love. Yeah. And we just kind of leveled up from there. So I always encourage people that if you're not approved for the amount you want, shop around for the price that you are and find an investment. Find something that you can rent, you can Airbnb, you can sell it later. I mean, there's a lot of ways to kind of play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once again, just getting the pre-approval process will allow you to have that buying power, to have that ability to go out and look at, we have, of course, social media nowadays that helps us out, and then maybe a listing is there and whatnot. But ultimately, what I always advise everyone that I'm helping is, yes, we have that, but keep in mind, and most importantly, I would say for the buyers, share a little bit of knowledge, and
for sure.
Andrew can touch base on this a little bit more. Is like, a lot of people are scared to reach out to an agent as well, because they're like, oh man, like, and even in an application. So a lot of people are scared of commitment. Okay, so if we do the application, does that mean I have to go with it? I'm like, no, pre-approval is what it is.
Gotcha.
We're going to get you pre-approved. Ultimately, if you like the terms, and the conditions and the loan amount, everything that's being presented to you, then we'll move on.
For sure. Yeah.
If you decide that, you know what, it's not for me, like, yes, I have you pre-approved, but no, I don't like the payment. No, I don't like, what's being offered to me at that time. All we do is, I'll have a conversation with them at that time. Do you want to keep it open and kind of relook at it 6 months from now, or do you just want to close it up, and then you let me know when you're ready to move forward, And a pre-approval is not a commitment to anything, A pre-approval is just the opportunity for you to give you the buying power.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with an agent, and I'll leave that to Andrew to discuss a little bit more. But once I get you pre-approved, and I tell you, hey, you should really get a hold of an agent because
right.
That agent, not idiot. That agent.
You should really get a hold of Andrew. You should. At that point, it's like, a lot of people feel like they're going to be paying for that service right off the back. It's like, and I think that's very important to touch base on, because they're like, okay, well, I can do the search myself. But then again, your search is limited.
Yeah.
At that point, you're limiting to yourself to whatever is out there on, if it's Realtor.com or whatever, Zillow. And that necessarily isn't the most accurate way.
Most efficient.
Yeah. Because of how it's updated or what. At that point, you're only able to see what's there, right?
Yeah, you're
not necessarily getting any previews on, hey, what's coming up.
Yep.
But most importantly, I think I'll leave this up to you for you to discuss. But getting pre-approved and reaching out to an agent, you're not necessarily going to be paying for that service right off the bat.
Yeah.
And for the most part, as a buyer, you're not going to be paying for that service at all.
That's right.
Yeah, so touching on that point, so that's a tricky one because there's some things going on with NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors. So buyers technically don't pay agents, but they kind of do. The way I explain it is the sellers normally will pay that out of the proceeds, but the buyers kind of include that in their loan. So at the end of the day, it is kind of incorporated, because we have to get paid for our services. But the good thing is there's no upfront fees. So like showings, contracts, things like that, we work until we get to the closing table. We're success-based, professional fees. And I always like to say it goes further than, finding homes and things like that. I think the number one job of an agent is contracts. Like if you don't have an agent who understands the contracts, you are in big trouble, because when they go against agents like me who do know the contracts,
come on now,
we need a double on that.
I like my clients to win. My clients like to win, so we don't take advantage of anybody. We don't do anything unethical or illegal. But I mean, I have seen a lot of mistakes made in contracts where it's like, man, you're paying this person to represent you, and they're working more for my client than you, at the end of the day. So that's always where it's kind of tricky. But I think, it's once you get the pre-approval or pre-qualification, it's important to kind of interview a couple agents and see who the right fit is. Because I've learned in my years in the industry and all the transactions I've done that I don't want to work for everybody, and everybody doesn't want me to work for them. And that's fine. Yeah. That's completely okay. Right. There was like over $1 billion of sales last year. And while I want all of that, I don't think I could handle it. So I have to share some of it. I'll be generous with that. Yeah. So I think it's finding an agent that you trust, that you want to work with, and that you see value in, and to read. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you want the best, you know who to call. Otherwise, you get over to the rest.
It's not just Andrew Reed. It's the Ink team.
The Ink team. Yeah, we're taking over.
Dynamic duo. Okay. Yeah. So before we go on, where can they contact? Fransisco at Academy Mortgage. Where can they contact you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's multiple ways. The most important, I would say, the one that I use the most is my cell phone. Right.
That's right.
And actually, we've had this conversation with Andrew a lot. I think we work a lot outside of our normal business hours. So if I'm out of the office, which most of the time we're on the go.
Right. Busy,
The best way to get a hold of me is definitely through my cell phone, which we could either provide.
Yeah, dude, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you'd like to, or an email, something people can reach you at.
Yeah. So my cell phone is 970-964-8113. I would say that would probably be the best phone number to reach me. Email address would work as well. It's just my name, francisco.vargas@academymortgage.com. So
perfect.
I do have an office number as well, but I think cell phone is always the easiest. And
we love text.
Yeah. Feel free to text. Feel free to text. Feel free to leave a voice message. I think that's the easiest way. That way, if I'm not available at the time, I can definitely get back to you.
Awesome. That's perfect. Andrew, where can they reach you at?
So easiest way to get a hold of me is my cell phone, 970-765-6546. Texting is great because if I'm in a meeting or anything like that, I can get back to you as soon as I'm available. If you can't get a hold of me on my cell phone, just call one of the title companies because I'm probably at a closing. So.
Hey,
God, shots fired.
No, I forgot to mention that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Andrew Reed.
Yeah,
With the ink team. Come on now.
You can also get me at email a.reed@kw.com.
Or just give the title companies.
Yeah, just get
probably
title.
better.
Yeah. Just tell them.
It's
Just
probably
send stuff over there. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's right, man.
I love if you follow me on social media, Andrew R. Reed with Keller Williams. We are going to be changing the name to Andrew R. Reed with the Ink Team and Keller Williams here shortly. So either one of those. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook. If you're cool enough, maybe Snapchat. You can see my funny stories.
That's right. The Ink Team, the dynamic duo right here.
Yes, sir.
On the What's Dope in This Low podcast. Yeah, thank you guys again so much, man.
Thanks for having us, man. Thank you.
For sure,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know, I want to ask, I want to bounce back to Fransisco on the lending side of things. Just one of the questions I had is credit. Obviously, credit is very important when purchasing a home or an asset, really. If you're trying to, what would be some tips for people with low credit, no credit, or even with already high credit that are trying to get just a little bit better,
I'm glad you mentioned that. That's probably one of the biggest things and the most important topic that we can discuss. I think for the most part, a lot of people that are not educated when it comes to what the process is, they automatically give themselves an answer, right? I was like, oh no, my credit's too low. Oh no,
Okay.
I haven't built any credit at all,
Mm-hmm.
or I need to work on my credit a little bit more, whatever the case might be. But one thing that is really, really important for everyone to know is that we have a number of different loan programs,
Dope.
on loan programs, different loan options
Okay.
that we have available. That the reason why we have them available is because they are there to help out certain people with certain needs, right?
Yeah.
So if they already have, stellar credit or whatnot, we have a loan program for that. If we have someone that has no credit, we have a loan program for that. If we have someone that is rebuilding their credit, we have a loan program for that as well.
Okay.
I'm not saying that, we can approve everyone 100% of the time. That's not the case.
Too risky.
Yeah.
Way too risky, yeah.
That's not
For sure.
ideal. That's
We
not
want
a
a
good
stable
business practice.
industry, yeah.
But there's always options. There's different loan options that we can look into and try to get you to fall into one of those. If for whatever reason we can't do it at that time, that's when, again, the coaching begins as far as what we need to do to get you into one of the how many we have available,
Okay, I'm really glad you mentioned that there is programs or multiple processes. It sounds like to get your credit right, to be able to make these purchases with the help of the dynamic duo here.
Yeah. One thing I want to mention real quick, and I'm sure
man.
you already know this by now. If you know me, if you're from the area, of course I'm bilingual.
That's right.
We're here to help out the raza, man.
That's right. I was actually going to dive into that, but go
okay.
ahead, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's been, I will say for sure, a huge percentage of my business.
That's awesome.
It is definitely Spanish speaking, and a lot of them do speak English as well. But they decide to go with a Spanish speaking lender because, there's certain things. Buying a home consists of a lot of information, man, a lot of details. And you want to make sure that you understand them.
Yeah. Or
One of the biggest thing, and I take great pride in that, man.
As you should. Yeah.
You were talking about our experiences in the past of how not necessarily they probably weren't the best because with the lack of information and whatnot.
Yeah.
And one thing I always kind of go back into is I remember the struggle that my parents had, buying their home.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost feel like, they were taken advantage of because they didn't understand it. They were just told, hey, sign here. This is what you're getting. And because they needed the place, they needed the home, they had to sign, right?
Sure. Man, yeah.
So one thing I've done with this, being in this line of work is actually, taken my experiences, my personal experiences for what my family has been through, and I don't know. I think for that, I take it's an extra responsibility that I feel like I have to my community, because just how I would have wanted them to treat my family, my loved ones, my parents.
Right.
I want to treat them the same way. So
For sure.
it's taking care of them. And luckily with the academy, I have a Spanish speaking processor as well.
Awesome.
So I can't tell you that the documents are in Spanish, but we'll definitely go over all the documents from start to finish, and with a Spanish speaking person or team member if you need it. So.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm really glad you touched on that, because that was one of my questions for you. You know, as you know, I mean, I'm Mexican myself. You know, a Latino, so it's you know, sometimes we don't all have social security numbers. So, like, is there an ITIN or like something that they can do, like with, you know, obviously their own ITIN number, or like,
Absolutely.
Is there like some type of documentation, or like, no, you got to figure it out?
You handle that one.
That's man. I
might
don't
not
know
be
how much
possible.
I don't know how much I want to dive into it right
It's
now.
case by case.
It's
Yeah.
Okay.
It's I will say it's not impossible.
Okay.
I am looking into with Academy of the opportunity for us to be able to do lending with ITIN numbers. I can't say that it's a green light at this point.
For sure.
We're looking into it, and we're trying to offer that that opportunity for
anyone,
anyone,
to make that American dream come true.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure, yeah, man.
I know for a fact that
Yeah.
if I don't have, you know, and I never discourage anyone from coming in to talking to me, because I feel
Right,
like with the years that I've had in this industry, if I don't have it, I'll send you to someone that does.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's one thing that I think Andrew and I can relate on a lot, is that man, we're not greedy. It's not, and that's just as he mentioned, it's like, you know, as much as we want to help out everyone, we understand that sometimes we don't have what they're looking for,
Right.
or it's just not a good fit in general. But I tell you what, even if I don't have what you're looking for, I'm gonna give you advice, and I'm gonna send you to someone that does.
You will help them find it. That's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is some programs that you can, not through Academy, you're working on
It's
that,
kind
but
of
through other
tailored.
banks? or-
It's kind of tough. Lending is one of those things, and I hate to overstep, but it's one of those
No,
where
you're
it's kind
good,
of
dude.
tailored for everybody.
Right,
It
for
really
sure,
is
yeah.
case by case. I think it's best because real estate's kind of it's overall for everybody. Like
of
for
course.
lending, you really have to go in there and talk one-on-one, because each person's financial situation is so different.
Right.
That I think it'd be hard to kind of give my knowledge of lending is very small. So
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
But I will say, for an ITIN, even if it's not with Academy, there are options.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are options.
They just need to make sure it's the right thing for them. Just because buying a home is an option doesn't mean that, like, because
It's right.
if they're going to buy a home and move in a year, it might not make sense. Because
sure.
sometimes they have to worry about taxes and things like that
Of
may
course.
not, you know. So I always say it's case by case. It depends on what the long-term goal is. If they're going to be here for 20, 30 years, like, all for it. Let's do it. Let's rock and roll. But
Okay, no, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That I just wanted to touch on that real quick.
And one
just
thing
so-
I will mention on as well,
Yeah.
since we're talking about ITIN numbers and for DACA recipients,
Yeah.
man,
Okay, yeah.
we do have options. We
Awesome.
definitely-
That's really, you know, that's more or less what I'm trying to just get a
Yeah,
feel for,
yeah.
like, you know, get people
It's
that
the
are
American dream.
It's exactly,
Yeah.
man. But obviously, I know that there's, you know,
Yeah. Well,
certain
I-
things
I
you got to
think-
be, and it
absolutely.
probably makes it hard.
You know,
for
I think
sure.
our community has been overlooked for so many years, and that's why there's now just like a big growth that we're seeing. So I mean, we deal with a lot of Hispanic families that are looking to purchase, you know, for the
Right.
first time. And what's cool sometimes is be multi-generational. So you'll see.
That's right.
And I think that's one reason I'm so proud, is because like we come from these really poor backgrounds, and it's cool to
Right.
see everybody come together to pull each other up.
Right.
You know, that's why I love when I'm part of those transactions, because you know, they may not be the $1 million luxury listings that I like, but those ones feel good, because you go home at the end of the day and you know you changed families' lives.
Yeah.
That's right, man.
And we've had so many of those.
lot
and
of them.
we've
Yeah,
had
blessed,
definitely,
dude.
yeah.
Blessed.
It-
For
it's
each one of them.
It's such a blessing to be chosen to be
Yeah.
part of that transaction, man. And of course we do it because that's our job, right? We definitely get
course.
paid for that as well. But some of the biggest paychecks I think that we've received is just the experience.
Right.
gratitude
Being part
for
of
that,
the
for
gratitude,
sure.
yeah, absolutely.
Seeing the
Gratitude
kids
of
smile when they
being
know
part
to
of
get
it.
their
Oh,
own
yeah,
rent.
man.
Like that's the biggest
Oh,
one for me.
it's been.
Yeah.
I can't even. I wouldn't even be able to tell you how many different types of emotions we've seen at the closing table. You know, once we do our final kind of walkthrough, once the deal has been completed, so many tears of joy, so many. It's been amazing. That's the biggest paycheck I've ever received, man.
That's
Just
right,
being
man.
able
That's
to.
a beautiful thing.
The money isn't everything. At the end of the day, it's helping the community. Like, obviously, we need the money and the finances to take care of our family.
Yeah,
like,
of course,
obviously, we want. I wish I could work for free, but you know, unfortunately, that's just not the world we live in.
That's right.
So, but at the end of the day, I don't think we'd be here for the money, because the stress we deal with. I mean, when your clients lose, you take those to heart. I've had to have some calls with clients and give them the bad news, and I lose sleep. There's been times where I wake up at 2:00 in the morning, like trying to solve a problem that isn't solvable. And you take it home with you,
and that just shows you how much we care, man. That's because we've had a number of conversations as well.
On weekends, after hours, trouble, just troubleshoot.
Just how much it's meant, how much it means to us to be able to assist, but also how much it hurts if we're not able to finish get
them to the finish line.
To get them to the finish line, absolutely,
for sure. And not every transaction is meant to close. Sometimes things happen with like appraisals, inspections, and that's one thing I always try and warn buyers to is like, hey, just because we got it under contract, don't fall in love yet. We still have a transaction to get through.
For sure.
But
that's good to mention. It's
hard not to take home. But on the flip side of that, like when you do close and that family that's been working so hard and doing everything, and the kids are smiling, and you know we give them a bottle of tequila and a gift certificate or something like that. You know, it's hard to compare that to.
For sure, man. So we're gonna just continue on with the process. So you know, we talked a little bit about credit. There's programs there to get the credit right, to get you pre-approved with Fransisco or your lender of choice.
Fransisco.
That's right.
You have 3 different other lenders available there at the Academy branch.
That's right.
So you have 3 different options, but 3 other options. But
Fransisco was
Fransisco. Let's just stay with Fransisco.
That's right. So Fransisco with Academy Mortgage, everyone. And then so once we got pre-approval, we got a budget, like okay, you know, a little reality check, like, oh, maybe I can't afford that house I wanted. Maybe it's time to knock down. That's when I would reach out to the second half of the dynamic duo, Andrew Reed with the Inc. team, and walk me through the process. Okay, now I got my pre-approval. I come to you, Andrew. Okay. What's next?
So I always like to meet with my clients in the office and just do a little screening with them. I like to make sure that I understand what they're looking for and they understand what my responsibilities are in the transaction. I believe in full transparency. And sometimes I think people get a little frustrated, but at the end of it, I feel like they appreciate it.
Yeah, I think so. I always appreciate transparency, even though it might hurt. But hey,
you want to know everything. You want to know who's responsible for what, and then we'll start the home hunting. You know, then we'll start looking at homes, viewing homes. If there's one we like, we submit an offer and begin negotiations. Another great thing about the Inc. team is we do believe in negotiation classes. We invest in our team. So I'm currently certified. I'm a certified negotiation expert.
That's right.
If you need somebody to negotiate on your behalf,
I'm
here for you. And I love it. For me, that's some of the pleasure I get out of the career we have is because it's not all documents and paperwork. Sometimes you get a ruffle feather. Sometimes your client gets you to negotiate on their behalf. And
for sure.
In some instances, it's needed. Like when you do an inspection, you find out there's a lot of safety stuff. You're like, okay, this needs to be taken care of. And a lot of sellers in this market feel, sometimes they don't need to do anything. So it's kind of fun to stick up for the little guy and say, hey, no,
that's right. You
guys need to do what's right. You're going to be making 6 figures when you sell.
Right.
Let's make sure this doesn't burn down.
That's right. No, that's a beautiful thing about you, Andrew, is you really, you're in it for the good reasons, not just for that paycheck like we mentioned earlier, man. You will really, I know from experience, dealing with you, man, and you're definitely a great realtor, the
Appreciate
best
that.
if I have to,
Yeah.
But you really do care for what the people's interest are, and
well, and I think for me that's just my core values as a business owner, because I know we live in such a small community. This isn't Denver and stuff like that where I can burn and turn every client. Like we, we're gonna see each other at Walmart, we're gonna see each other at City Market, and honestly, I want to look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day.
That's right.
That's pretty important. I've seen some people. I'm like, how do you go through life doing this kind of stuff? For me, it's like, I know the man I am, and I know the things I want to do for my community, and I know how I want to be remembered. And all I can do is have the pure intentions to do that, and hopefully everybody can see that. And you have those people who tell you like, oh, you're just in it for the commission and it's like that's not true. If it were that way, I would cherry pick who I worked with, and there's so many things I could do that were easier. But I choose sometimes to work with people that are harder to work for, that are in tougher situations but deserve it. And I'm loyal to those, and I always say I'll match energy. If you're if you're not approved and you're gonna do everything Kiki says for you to get that approval, I'm by your side. We're gonna do everything we can for you. If you're low energy, I'm gonna be low energy.
That's right.
You know?
As you should, man. I think you got to match that energy.
Exactly.
Exactly. You know, I mean, why spend your time when they're not really
investing
in their time? You know, exactly, for sure. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I guess once you start looking for the house, you found the house you need. What after that? What are the process? Do you?
Well, I mean, so if you get under contract, then the whole transaction. And I don't want to bore you guys with that because that's like a whole other show. If anybody has any questions about that, I'd love to meet with you one-on-one and kind of explain the transaction because it does entail a lot. And I feel the presentation I give would be good for a lot of buyers because it'll set you up to be in a better winning position.
I agree. Yeah. Hell yeah.
One of my favorite books is Relentless by Tim Grover, and he was a coach for a lot of top athletes, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade. And he just kind of says, you just have to be relentless in it. You have to not stop. You just have to always be grinding.
That's right, man.
And coaching, that's what he said. It's like we're not the star. We have to realize where our energies goes and build them up. There's only so much we can do. There's only so much we can do for our clients.
For sure.
Other than that, it's on them.
Yeah. Once and again, we won't touch much on that because it really is a lot of detail.
Yeah. We
sure.
need a bottle of tequila or something.
That's
right.
That's right.
We can tell you some stories.
I don't think the audience wants to necessarily step by step. But one thing that we can say, and I think it would be a good way to describe what would happen after you find the home. Yeah. And you sign the intention to buy. Yep. Is you get down to business, man. It's like. That's where I guess my process begins, and so does Andrew's. Yep. But and my responsibility, to make sure that everything is met by the dates that are being requested,
or sooner normally. Yeah.
That's once again. This is where the homework on the client, the borrower begins as well. It's like this is where. Everybody kind of is hands-on
team,
and it's. As I mentioned previously, is that, how soon do you want it? Yeah. Do you want to get there? It's like we're gonna work together on this. I'll do everything that I can within my power, but I need you to do your part as well. So
of course, yeah, man.
So that's where the fun begins. That's where the fun begins. That's where you'll learn a lot. Yeah. And you'll have a lot of questions, but the great thing about having a good team,
dynamic duo,
good team behind you is being able to and for instance, it's like. I'm helping out for some first-time buyers right now, and they have a lot of questions, and they keep calling me, and they're like, hey, I know I'm bothering you.
Never bother.
No, not
never
at all.
Bother. There's no silly questions.
Not at all. And that's one of the biggest things that I always kind of go back to is I'd rather have you have these questions right now before you sign anything, before you get your keys, before you're 30 years into it, and you're like, absolutely,
Transparency.
It's transparency.
There you go.
Yeah.
And being able to communicate as much as we possibly can. That way, there's nothing that you signed off on that you didn't want to be part of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So what would you guys say? I know that these are just broad questions. I know it changes case by case, but what would you guys say is the average time from talking to a lender to you close? I know that's the case by case, but a rough number. I mean, obviously, if you got things to work on with your credit, that's going to take much longer.
Absolutely. Well, I'll say
good to go.
If you were good to go, if you already have the house that you want picked out, and it's a simple process, it could be anywhere from 30 to 45 days. I think that's a pretty standard.
Yeah. Okay. I think finding the home is a difficulty right now. Yes. I don't think the loan approval is a hard part. It's no secret. There's a shortage of inventory.
Right.
And I don't really care what anybody's opinions are. I mean, the market is the market, and we're still in a seller's market. Granted, interest rates have kind of fluctuated, and we're seeing some changes there. But prices seem to be stable, and they're not. In my opinion, it doesn't seem like they're going anywhere.
Okay.
Things might change, so don't bet the farm on this.
That's
But from everything I'm noticing, prices are stabilizing. There's no new inventory, though. I mean, I looked at the numbers last week, and in the Montrose County, if we don't get any new inventory, we only have about 2.5 months worth of inventory. So what that means, if nothing new comes on the market, in 2 months, everything will be gone.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild, man.
Yeah. So, and I'm not trying to be an alarmist or scare anybody. That's just that's a national market. That's just the way it is, and I think that's if you look into a lot of different industries, I mean, the car industry went something similar last year.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where when people realize how much of a good investment it is, demand goes up, prices go up, inventory goes down. It's kind of common sense.
Right.
And I hate to break it. I hate to break the hearts of a lot of people who want a home, but there are other entities that see value in homes other than a homes. I mean, we're talking Airbnb, short-term rentals, VRBOs. So I think it's never been a more competitive time to try and buy a home, and I've never tried to motivate people to get into homes more.
For sure, man.
You know, especially first-time buyers. I think if, you know, you're paying 100% of interest right now.
Yeah,
You
that's
know, 100%.
Renter.
Yeah,
That's
so it doesn't
renter,
matter
yeah,
what the
for
interest
sure.
rate is if you're renting.
right.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, start small or start
Yeah.
looking into the process.
Start where you can.
Yeah, get some knowledge. Like, ask the questions, like, what is it going to take, you know, because there's only so much land,
Yeah.
you know, that
Not making any more of it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is the dynamic duo that you definitely want to be in touch with if you're, you know, in the Western Slope, and you guys help out anyone really
I can
you
help
can,
out
right?
nationwide. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can
Nationally,
nationwide, yeah.
Yeah, so like reach
Yeah.
out to these guys. You know, we'll provide their numbers down below so you guys can contact them directly if you have any more questions and set up an appointment with them. And you know, we're gonna get, you know, we're gonna get everybody in something.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a movement. It's a movement. That's our goal. If you want
You know, work hard
generational
for it,
wealth,
if
we're
you
here
want
for
it.
you.
I will
Yeah.
clarify. I'm only licensed in Colorado right now. So
Right?
I am
Noted.
only licensed in Colorado, but I can assist you find agents in any of the 50
There you
states.
go.
I'll screen
That's-
them. I'll make sure they're a good fit for you, and I'm sure
that's
Francis
exactly
will do
what
the
I was
same.
going to mention.
So I mean,
Perfect.
yeah, we can handle you anywhere.
Yeah, you guys will help. If you, like you mentioned
Yeah.
earlier, if you guys can't do it directly, you can
pass
help
on.
them
Yeah,
get to
We're
someone that
helpers.
can. That's awesome, man.
I think that's what differentiates us from the rest of the pack is we're helpers.
That's
you
right.
know, we're there to make life easier, and if we're part of it, awesome, great. We want to be in those closing pictures. If not, at least that family was able to do what they needed to do.
That's right, man. Yeah, you guys truly care for your clients.
Oh yeah,
which
it's
is
not just our
special,
clients,
man.
just the community. I think
Yeah.
overall, it's just I'm rooting for
That's
the
right.
human race. You know,
Hell
You
yeah,
know?
man.
At the end of the day,
Hell
that's-
yeah.
yeah.
That's right, man. So what's going on with you guys, man? You know, you guys are obviously busy. What's next for you guys? You know, any goals or anything, or what's going on with you?
man, where do you want
No, through that, you know,
put me
switch
on
up
the
the
spot?
pace a little bit. You know,
Put me on the spot. Okay, well, I mean, as
Some
far
big
as
changes for you. So you've been, yeah.
as far as business wise goes, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just continue to hustle, right?
That's right.
Continue to work. Continue to be available.
Enjoy your new lending. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and within this last, I would say, well, this year itself, there have been some big changes. I joined the academy team. The academy
That's
team has
right.
allowed me
We
to.
need some of the horns for that.
Oh,
one.
come on,
that's a big
Academy.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Let's try this one more time.
Yeah.
So this year I joined the academy team.
Hell yeah! Oh shit!
I like that one better.
And it's been amazing, man.
Yeah.
The academy name is extremely well known in this community.
Oh yeah!
And to not have him as a rival anymore and have him
Yeah.
as my team, I mean, what I couldn't ask for a better fit. But most importantly, it's allowed me to help out at a better. How do I want to say this? At a better level.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Because it's freed me up enough to be able to have more access to help out more people, to be more involved with the community, to instead of just kind of taking one deal at a time, I can bring them all. How many?
You have the team underneath you. You have the infrastructure now. And
Oh yeah!
I knew it was a good fit because I think a lot of your core values and academy core values are the same. You're both about community. You're both about helping people. You come from a place of compassion.
Yeah,
and I think that's a big one for me because I remember when you were talking about going, I was like, that's a great fit. I remember the leadership there. Jake Mott, I think was a good fit for you. I think he'd be a good,
Oh yeah!
a good leader. And I think it's perfect for you to kind of see that, and then you'll be developing into your own leader.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
excited for it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man! It's good. I mean, it's good to see you guys. Hustling and finding the right people to work with.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys found each other. And you see the
we
success
started
of
out-
that.
We found each other. It wasn't necessarily
We were
by
the
choice.
rookies. Yeah. Nobody else wanted to work with us.
I was gonna say, how did the dynamic do a start? But I
Yeah,
just
it
answered.
started, man. It was established back in
When you started like August 2018. I started like October 2018.
yeah, 2018.
That's
I
right.
was in. I've been so prior to the mortgage industry. I've been in banking. I was in banking for for what, probably about 9 years. So I knew a little bit about the financial industry, but not anything about the mortgage industry. So once I decided to take the jump into the mortgage industry, I mean, it was tough, man. It was tough because people knew me because of the banking side, but nobody knew me on the mortgage industry, the real estate side. So we feed off of each other, right?
Yeah.
I need agents like Drew. And
He doesn't need agents. He just needs me, guys. He just needs me, guys. Other agents, it's too late. You need to talk to his assistants and stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, but we need each other for sure.
Like
man.
That's
right. And you know, I remember going out to visit some of the real estate offices here in town, and I was presenting myself, and I was like, hey, you know, I'm new. And
you lost him right there. Yeah,
and I would lose him right there.
Yeah,
man. It's like, okay, you're new. Like, for the most part, whenever they see a new lender, they think, how soon are you going to be out? You know, it's like, how long are you going to be in it?
Yeah,
and likewise, yeah,
It's
the
a
same
tough
thing.
market, yeah.
So I'm sure I would drop off some business cards, and as I was walking out, I'm sure they were already in the trash.
Yeah.
But you know, I started, you know, just kind of getting my name out. Crazy thing is, we're the same age.
Yeah.
Like we were always around the same people.
Yeah.
But I guess we never really
bumped into
each other. So, so we connected. I don't even remember how we connected, but it was just like, hey, like this is a new agent. I think
it was probably for a Spanish-speaking client.
I think so.
And it was like, hey, we can help each other on this one, and then the rest is history. And it was
that's right.
And you know, just talking to him, and then we kind of discussed this a little bit as well. But talking to him, seeing what his vision was, what he was trying to get accomplished, kind of seeing myself in him a lot because of course, our line of work is so different yet so similar.
Yeah.
Right.
And being able to see that we both wanted the same thing out of each other.
Yeah.
Then at that point it was just like, hey, okay, let's try it out.
Yeah.
One by one. And he didn't really have any other contacts. He doesn't need any other contacts in the lending industry. But he just kind of started working with each other, and the rest is history, man. I mean, look at his Facebook page.
That's right.
That'll show you how many families have trusted us, and ultimately it's because of the same reason. Is because I think they see a lot of what I do in him, and vice versa. It's like, you know, we're both here to help out each other. We're to help out our community, to help out our people.
That's right.
And to help out everybody, man. We're not limited to
for sure, man.
To just one type of customer base. We're here to help out everyone.
We're here to work for the people that want us to work for them, and the people that we feel like we can do a good job for.
That's right. That's a good way to put it right there, man.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. It's one of those where we were both new in the industry, and
nobody trusted us.
Yeah,
nobody.
You have a target on your back.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, same with me. As I remember, I was interviewing real estate offices, and they were like, they just look down on you and things like that. And it's probably because I'm having, you know, but it's whatever. You know,
the tattoos, man.
Yeah, the tattoos. No, I went like suit and tie and everything. Like, oh, we're not trying to sell trailers. Like, I'm not trying to sell trailers. Yeah, this was before the trademark.
Yeah, that's right.
But you know, I think it was one of those. We, like you said, we just saw so many similar characteristics in each other, and we saw like a brotherhood there. We saw something that we were, you know, that we weren't selfish. 'Cause, I mean, you can kind of see it when we call it commission breath in the industry. When somebody all they care about is that check, it's commission, and they're not fun to work with on any level of it because So we both came in from a genuine spot of wanting to help the community, and I think we both understand the only way to last long in this industry is to do good and do right by people.
For sure, man.
And we were both hungry, man. We were both hungry to establish something, to get something going.
Prove everybody wrong.
And that's exactly what it was. You know, I remember, I think it was our first lunch. We went out and we were like, hey, like 1 year, 2 years down the road, we're going to be looking at this like, hey, we're not the rookies anymore.
Yeah,
we're here to stay.
Oh, yeah.
And we're in this, you know.
You guys are, man.
Yeah.
4 years later,
stay, man.
going on 5. And just crushing it.
I think we're setting the pace. I mean, I don't want to say like I'm definitely a top tier agent. I'm not like the number one or anything like that. But I feel like in our industries we're both. We took in lead. Yeah, we've taken. I think we're the future. You know, I think that and I appreciate a lot of the seasoned veteran agents, and I think they've done a lot of good groundwork. but I think we're just changing the game. I think we're doing things differently, and I think technology has been the biggest push. Because I mean, on average, we probably are quite a bit younger than our coworker, our industry professionals. Yeah.
For sure.
And us being able to connect with younger people, connect with technology and things like that just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, man. I think it just, sets you guys also apart, and it gives you that more advantage, I guess you could say, too, with, knowing how, I guess, the newer industry or how to get the product out to the people a lot more ideally, but go ahead.
So I guess the things I've been up to the last years, I've been building the ink team. So we're growing. We're taking over the ink team. Gotta say the ink team with Keller Williams. We're with a great brokerage. It's a great ally. They've always stood by us. They've always helped us and pushed us to do better. I appreciate the leadership there. I'm proud of my team members. I'm proud of all the people that are associated with the ink team. I mean, it's I appreciate all the clients who trust my team. I know it's hard to go from working with just one agent to a group of agents, but the best piece of advice I can give you is when you're working with one agent, you have one agent. When you're working with the team, not only do you have my brain, but you have all my agents, my assistants. I'll call Kiki and I'll be bugging him about it and stuff like that. So
of course.
I think the team, the leverage there is you have a multitude of people with different experiences at your disposal, that have your back. So
that's a beautiful thing right there.
Yeah, and I have to add to that as well, because you're gonna get this pretty much a similar experience with me. Is that I am part of a team.
Yeah,
that's right.
And that is the best part about it as well. It's like not just having just one contact. Of course, you have multiple contacts throughout the office, but you only, I should say, you're gonna get more than just my 4 or 5 years in the industry. You're gonna get my branch managers 20 plus years in the industry.
Right. Oh yeah.
And ultimately, you're gonna get a combined
group effort
and a combined experience of close to 50 years or 60 years in the industry. So that's one of the biggest thing about working with a team is not just being able to step away and know that even if I'm taking some days off, the work's still happening, everything's still flowing. But also gives me an opportunity to say, hey, I met with this unique situation, unique borrower that is looking to buy something, but doesn't necessarily fall on this criteria. I'm able to pick somebody else's brain and say, hey, what would you do there? And I think that's what has helped me, and it's such a has been such a big emphasis on our team, on my team as a whole, is being able to use each other and ultimately trying to find exactly the right fit for that borrower.
Yeah, tailor the loan to them. Yeah.
Tailor the loan to them, exactly. Because there's no two borrowers that come in that are like,
no two transactions.
Exactly.
It's
so
case by case. Yeah.
For me, it's been great to be able to make some changes, modify whatever we need to.
For sure.
And if they don't fall in this little bubble that the criteria that this loan program requires, gives us an opportunity to help out each other and say, hey, what would you do?
Yeah.
And go from there. I think that's been huge this year to our success.
Yeah.
Even with the times that we're living in right now, that they're slower than what it used to be. We're still plenty busy, and I think that's what
we're in a healthier market. I think we're in a healthier market.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to differentiate the experience to your lender, who you're going through. I think only the strong will survive.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm confident we will be part of that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt about that, man. The dynamic duo.
Yeah,
everyone, come on now.
No, I agree. And I want to just reiterate, even though we're on a team, we still give you one-on-one attention. That's what I always tell my people. I say, hey, these guys are here for communication. They're here to help you. If there's a problem, I'm your go-to. Like, I'm the person you want to reach out to. I got your back. I'm there to cover for you. That's what I'm here for, I'm here for those tough situations. I'm here to make sure that when rubber meets the road, that we're doing everything we need to do.
That's right, man.
And that's exactly what it is. There are a lot of agents and lenders that just want those easy transactions.
Right.
We want them all.
Yeah.
That's right.
I want all billion.
I mean, that's what makes you a better professional,
Yeah.
You learn from all that, and, if you deal with all those difficult clients, it's just gonna sharpen up your,
Yeah, I don't like say difficult client. I just say difficult situations.
Difficult situations,
Yeah,
exactly.
a lot of clients want to do everything they can to get there,
Right.
but it's just a situation there. And sometimes it's
sure.
just the things they were taught. I came from a very poor upbringing, and I wasn't taught generational wealth. Like everything I've learned, I've had to learn we've had to kind of learn on our own.
For sure.
And sometimes people just don't have that sphere of influence where it's that much positivity.
Right.
And that's when I love when we get to meet those kind of people, because then it's like we change that family's direction. We change that dynasty.
For sure, man. Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing within itself, man. That's a priceless lesson right there, man.
Yeah.
I know you guys got to get running. You guys got things to do, man. So, before I let you guys go, I want to ask you, the famous question: what's a dope in the slope? And you guys could, whoever wants to start.
Me.
That's right. Me. Andrew Reed with the ink team. Everyone, come on now.
I'm gonna give credit to
The ink team.
Yeah. Speak of the devil.
765-6546. Everyone, come on now.
Yep. Do you guys plan that out?
One more time. No.
Sounded good. Yeah.
I was waiting for the Car-milia logo to show
Yeah,
up.
there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
The
coming
Car-milia
up.
Fest.
I
There's a lot.
need
Yeah.
to give credit
It's
to that.
coming,
That's
yeah.
something that we've been talking about, working
man.
on for
love
quite
it.
some time, and
Yeah.
I think it's nice to see the fruits of it.
Man.
What we've been able to deal with it. So
Especially for such a short time. You guys accomplished a lot.
and thank you for your support on that.
Yeah,
always. I got
Andrew
you.
Reed,
Always.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Familia.
that's dope.
If
Familia
you
Fest.
ain't there, you're
Western
missing
slope
out.
right
That's all
there.
I can say.
That's right.
Yeah, it's the car show of. Yeah, the car show of our people, man. Like, you gotta be
man.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, man, because Francisco and I are, Carnales Auto Club and La Familia Music Group actually partner up and throw Car-milia Fest, which is the best, one of the best festivals in the Western Slope.
The best.
That's right.
Allied with the ink team. Allied with ink team.
Allied with Ink Team. But no, really, Andrew Reed with the Ink Team, they've been so supportive about everything. Not only with the festivals, but with the podcast or any new visions that we may have.
I just believe in you, man.
Yeah,
I
dude,
love your
appreciate
movement.
that,
I love seeing what you do with the community. I don't want to reiterate what I said last time, because last time I touched on Car-milia Fest, last time
That's
I touched
right.
on events.
That's right.
I've recently gotten into martial arts, so I gotta say
Martial arts.
what's dope in the slope,
That's
man. If
boy's
you can get
killing
over, to Montrose Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they have Muay Thai classes, they have gi Jiu-Jitsu, they have no gi Jiu-Jitsu. I was at a yoga class this morning,
That's
and
right.
it's life-changing. It's one of those things, I think, in our industry, it's hard to put your phone away, as he's on his phone right now. You're always on it, man.
That's right. Is the next meeting?
He's
like,
putting
"Hey,
out
where are you?"
fires. These are clients. I'm telling you, like, we get calls all the time. So for me, it's nice to have hobbies to where I can clock out.
That's
you
right.
know, when somebody's choking me or somebody's punching me in the head, it's
Whoa,
hard.
hey,
I care about all my clients all the time, but that's when
Hey, come on now.
we got to keep it PG.
PG, come on, dude.
No, but I think it's one of those things where it's just a great physical workout. And I think
That's
there's such a great community here on the Western Slope for martial arts that you could go to any gym and find your culture there. It just depends on what you're looking for. So
That's right.
check out one of the gyms, get your workout in, and join the community.
Montrose Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
That's what you mentioned, right?
That's where I've been going. But like
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, just find a gym that fits your lifestyle and where you want to go with it.
That's right.
I'm just trying to work out. Like, I'm not
That's
trying.
right.
Yeah.
And you're killing it, though, man. I see you getting belts and stuff, man.
Yeah, I got a couple stripes.
son's
on my,
killing it,
Yeah,
dude.
so my son was in a competition. He won, and I was like, gosh, I gotta keep up with him. So I
That's
went and did a competition up in Junction last week
yeah.
and took it. Yeah,
Hey,
so,
the win. Come on,
yeah.
now. You can use some
Yeah,
points for that.
I gotta thank my coaches for that. It's in martial arts, you realize that it's all about humbleness. Like, you always
That's
got to
right.
work on your foundation, and it brings you back to the roots of it all. That
That's
I wouldn't be where I am without my coaches. I wouldn't be where I am without great friends like Francisco, with great
yeah.
kids partners, and associations like you guys. I really just want to thank everybody for that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That's right, man. Well, I want to thank you guys, man. Thank you guys so much for coming and making, taking the time out of your busy schedules to come and make this happen with us. So I want to shout you out one more time. Where can the people find you out if they got more questions or want to get started with the process or just want to ask a couple more questions that they might have? Where can they reach you at, Kiki?
Yeah, definitely. We have a local branch here in Montrose, right next to Dairy Queen, Sandoval Construction, Academy Mortgage.
Academy Mortgage.
Yeah,
Come on, there. Come on, they give you some horns for that
Yeah.
909 South Townsond.
one. Okay,
I believe that's the address.
that's right.
Just look for Dairy Queen. You can't miss
Academy,
it. Yeah.
Google Academy Mortgage.
Yeah,
on
we don't need to give you the
Google,
address.
in
Just Google
Montrose.
it. Make it easy for us.
But yeah, once
That's
again, just reach out to me via my cell phone, probably
Yeah.
the easiest thing. weekend,
He thinks about it. He's like, man, these people are gonna be blowing me
Yeah.
up.
It's regardless.
Hey,
It
that's right.
happens.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
regular business hours. No, I'm just
No, yeah.
That's right.
Monday to Friday. No. And I say this, and I mean it. Definitely reach out to me, even if it's in the weekend. Send me a text message, and if I am available to meet with you in the weekend, which I do a lot,
Yep.
because I understand the majority of our community works Monday through Friday. So
For sure.
Yeah.
That's
I only
dope.
do it by appointment, but if we need to do it in the weekend, we'll do it in the weekend. 970-964-8113.
Okay.
Give me a call, send me a text message, whatever works out best for you. Email again, francisco.vargas@academymortgage.com.
That's right. Reach out to Francisco for your lending questions or to start the process to get you guys in under a roof. Andrew Reed with the Ink team.
Yeah.
Where can they find you or the Ink team at?
All right, so we're located at the Keller Williams Montrose office, which is in the Oxbow Crossing, 1521 Oxbow Drive, Suite 120. So I don't know how the hell I have that memorized.
That's
But
right.
yeah. But I would say probably give us a call, 970-765-6546.
That's right.
Text is also great because, like I said, if I'm in a meeting, in a closing, I can respond as soon as we're free, or I can set you up with one of our agents who will be able to help you. Se habla poco español por mucho corazón.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Hey.
So we do have bilingual
That's right.
agents on the team. So if there's somebody, and I always have translators and stuff like that, because for me, I always want to make sure people understand what they're signing, what they're doing, and it's full transparency. So I do know Spanish, but I always want to make sure that it's to the level that they understand it.
For sure.
So we're very accommodating.
That's awesome, man. That's
yeah.
awesome you offer that because
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if I was going in there, I'd feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're essentially selling me this.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like if you're translating it there.
Yeah.
I mean, even though you might be doing a great job at it, there's just that little.
Exactly. Well,
So I
I
appreciate
know the Spanglish. It's
That's
my
right.
mind. Like I can go to the bar, but and I
Yeah.
think even Francisco can vouch on this. It's just there's a rough translation where you're going from professional Spanish
Right.
to the Spanish that we know.
For sure.
And it's
For sure, man.
But
Yeah,
no,
man.
we're here to help everybody. I mean, I'll learn German if I need to help you out. You
Yeah,
know?
well, come on
Whatever we
now.
gotta do.
Yeah,
we're-
we'll make it happen.
It's
one way or
American
another.
dream. It's American
That's
dream.
right.
Yeah. So reach out. You can also follow me on social media. My name Andrew Reed. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat.
There you go.
I'm here to help the community. So if you have any questions, any concerns, even if you just want to pick my brain for a little bit, I'm here for you. I'm here to help. I'm here to make sure that you're confident to move forward, and we have a game plan for you.
That's right.
You got to start somewhere. So just start by giving one of us a call, and we're more than happy to help.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you guys so much, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for giving me your time. And if anyone has more questions, excuse me. God, I shouldn't work at the radio, man. If anyone has more questions, reach out to my guys. I'll provide their information down below in the description. Or if you're listening, they just said their number. So reach out to them with any more questions in the Western Slope or Colorado. Or these guys are willing to help. These guys are available. So, yeah, thank you guys so much.
Appreciate you, brother.
And enjoy the rest of your day, man.
Thank you, man.
Stay
Yeah.
busy.
Stay warm.
hustling.
Appreciate
Stay
the time.
warm. Yeah.
That's right. Everyone, have a good night or day.
Guys.
A mi
Yeah.
jefa le agradezco todo, Dios cuida a mis niños, yes sir. I'm coming for everything that I deserve. If you slow me down, I'm switching lanes, don't mind if I swerve. Cause this is LFMG, baby, started this from the dirt. Giving back to the people, something they can preserve. You heard? I'm trying to paint a better picture for the youth. I go by E.